Top Stunning Photos from History, Part 53, Special Edition. Rare photograph from Coded World of Russian Criminal Tattoos, 1963. A photograph of a Hiroshima survivor's body, 1946. Elvis Presley with his daughter Lisa Marie and his wife Priscilla Presley, whom he began dating when she was 14. Workers at Barnum's Freak Circus, 1932. Shoe testing machine, 1947. Semi-final of the Swedish Ice Hockey Championship, 1959. Rare photos show how close Bill Clinton once was with Trump, 2016. Arrested girl escorted by police, New York, 1989. What are your versions? What is the reason for the arrest? A menorah stands on the windowsill of a Jewish home across from Nazi Party headquarters in Kiel, Germany in 1932. Pregnant Jackie Kennedy enjoying a cigarette, 1963. How do you feel about smoking during pregnancy? Write your thoughts. The Simpsons creators Matt Groening, James Brooks, and Sam Simon with the cartoon characters, 1990. Indian Shaman, 1912. Ettore Bugatti and his mechanic Schnell on Bugatti 4-cylinder car at Le Mans meeting, 1912. Treatment of female hysteria in the Victorian era was carried out in a rather unusual way. Write in comments if you know exactly how. A rotary carousel, USA, 1950. Two technicians inside the fuel tank of the space shuttle, 1985. Advertisement for protective knitted ski masks for the whole family from Threads magazine, 1992. Interesting article during the smallpox pandemic, 1885. Princess Margaret, sister of Queen Elizabeth II, takes a bath wearing her wedding tiara, 1962. This is 1970s lineup photo of Ted Bundy. Bundy is second from the right. Sir Malcolm Campbell and the Campbell-Railton Rolls-Royce Bluebird, 1933. Snowman, 1902, Alaska. Boxing match between American boxer Gus Waldorf and a real bear, March 1949. Betty Page was Playboy Playmate of the Month for January 1955. Excavations of the Berezovsky Mammoth, 1901, Srednyokolimsk. The Donut Queen, 1957. When doctors advised healthy cigarette brands, 1932. Mailbox attached to a German tram, postman empties the mailbox, Berlin, 1920. Dogs have smoke breaks, too, 1923. Man with mouse traps on his face, 1961. Surgery in the early 1900s. Human-computer Doris Barron, pictured in 1955, works with tape from machines measuring air pressure. Prince Franz Joseph surrounded by his hunting trophies, Bavaria, Trizone, 1949. Roy Cohn, mentor for Donald Trump, partying in Studio 54 with one of its owners, Steve Rubel, in the late 70s. James Morris was known as the Rubber Man due to his condition, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, 1880s. Leola N. King, first female traffic cop in the U.S., worked in Washington, D.C. Stopped working on the streets when a truck hit her, 1920. Celebrating the end of Prohibition, USA, 1933. "22-year-old farmer Charlie Jones and his wife, 9-year-old Eunice Winstead, Tennessee, 1937. Victorian toilet masks were ornate fabric masks women wore to block harsh odors in poorly ventilated 19th-century bathrooms. The tallest, Cornelius Bruns, shortest and fattest, Canon Colossus, man of Europe playing a game of cards, 1913. Last surviving indigenous Tasmanian killed by British settlers, 1869. Sylvester Stallone and Bridget Nielsen, 1987. Collecting metal cans for recycling, New York, 1970. Alfred Hitchcock, inspired by the River Thames, 1958. A girl is arrested for appearing on the beach in a revealing bathing suit, USA, 1920s. In 1864, engineer Taillefer invented a horse-drawn street sweeper for cleaning the streets of Paris. World War II veteran earns his living, Tokyo, 1951. A helmet made of a porcupine fish and a sword made of shark teeth, the traditional attire of a Kiribati warrior, 1925. Halloween party in the 1930s. During a raid by German pilots, these children sleep in hammocks thrown between the subway tracks, London, 1940. Demonstration of a special chin rest that is supposed to help maintain correct posture, 1913. Two boys, both aged 13 years, the one on the right was vaccinated, smallpox, in infancy, the other was not vaccinated, 1901. Salvador Dali and a rhinoceros, 1956. Student engineers pose next to a motor they helped design at a General Electric plant, 1928. A worker at Gems Ltd., a company that makes mannequins and wax figures, attaches a wax mannequin's head to a body, London, 1950. A RAF machine gunner training, 1941. Howard Doley, one of the youngest survivors of lobotomy, 1960s. California Surfer Girls, 1964. John Cleese kicks a football on the set of the film Monty Python and the Holy Grail, 1974. Arnold Schwarzenegger with Susan Jeston, wife of Jeff Bridges, 1976. Marilyn Monroe, 1952. Elderly gymnast, USA, 1977. Plastic surgery boomed after World War I, 1920. Creepy Halloween costume photo, 1910. President Teddy Roosevelt riding a moose, 1912. Kim Jong-un attending a Swiss high school under the name Pakun in the 1990s. A person arrested for cross-dressing in 1939. Fat gnome Sophia Schultz, 1880. Beware of Spies poster from 1914. Fiji men who had taken bodybuilding pose for a photo with the gym instructor showing their progress, circa 1919. A couple are photographed moments after learning that their 19-month-old child had been swept out to sea at Hermosa Beach, 1954. Tallulah Bankheaded one of her daily parties filled with booze, women and drugs, 1950s. Scarification is an ancient African tradition, 1955. Write your thoughts in the comments, why did they do it? A taxidermist shop displays bison heads, 1897. A woman showing off Isabel Gilbert's dimple maker, 1936. Barack Obama, back row, second from left, shown in a 7th grade yearbook photo from the 1973 to 74 school year. An artist creates self-portraits of himself as he suffers with dementia, 1995. A surgical photo from the Surgeon General's War Department shows an injured soldier with both arms amputated, 1862. Nixon crying at his wife Pat's funeral. A French collaborator girl wearing a German uniform, 1942. What do you think about the collaborators of the Second World War? Write in the comments. Arnold Schwarzenegger in a 1979 Wendy's 10th anniversary. A World War I German submarine washed ashore in Hastings, England, in 1919. British champion woman weightlifter, Ivy Russell deadlifting 369 pounds at 5 feet 7 and 134 pounds, in September of 1934. Cockfighting at General Orlando B. Wilcox's headquarters in Petersburg, 1864. Public urinal, Paris, 1875. These were common on the streets of Paris in the late 19th century. An MB-339 crashes into a crowd during an airshow in Ramstein, killing 67 people and injuring more than 500, 1988. LBJ meeting with George McGovern and Sergeant Shriver at the ranch, 1972. Who knows what LBJ called Jumbo? He is in this photo. Bulgarian war cry on a knife, 1917. President Bill Clinton misses a football goal, 1993. Marilyn Monroe on a hair test for Don't Bother to Knock, 1951. Priceless reaction from Hollywood legend Steve McQueen as he meets Jane Mansfield in the early 1960s. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is attacked by States' Rights Party member Jimmy Robinson as King tries to register at the Hotel Albert in Selma, Alabama, 1965. Freestyle, Summer, USSR 90s. Priests salute Hitler during a Catholic youth gathering, Berlin, 1933. A dog is reunited with his owner after the tsunami in Japan, 2011. Young Italian film actress Claudia Cardinale, 1955. Lewis Powell, 21, on board a ship in the Potomac River after his arrest on April 17, 1865. Fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva is a very rare disease that causes parts of the body, muscles, tendons, and ligaments to turn to bone when they are damaged. Los Alamos Nuclear Facility, 1974. A Victorian home being moved on Steiner Street by horsepower, San Francisco, 1908. At the Majdanek death camp, boxes with gas used to kill people in the death camp, 1945. In 1983, First Lady Nancy Reagan sat on the lap of Santa Claus, otherwise known as Mr. T, after reviewing the White House Christmas decorations with the press. This reusable contraceptive, crafted from pig's intestine, was utilized in Lund, Sweden, in 1640. 19-year-old Czech showman Richard Novak, 53 centimeters tall and weighing 17 kilograms, plays a trumpet inside another trumpet, 1940. Miss Universe, Miss Germany and Miss Sweden in 1957. Who would you vote for? The horrors of Hiroshima. The thermal radiation from the explosion burned a pattern from the fabric of a kimono onto this woman's back, 1945. Women demonstrate what $1.34 could buy in 1918 and 1945. Merle Larson manually restarts the stalled engine of his Piper J3, USA, 1946. Salvador Dali paints his next masterpiece, The Temptation of St. Anthony, with a model, 1946. What do you think? Is there a similarity? Gas mask testing, 1932. Charlie, Rico and Simon Rousette, September 1913. A Crazy Chair in a Dutch Mental Hospital, 1938. Dutch Brides with Their Mother, 1906. Medical Examination on Skylab 2, 1973, Earth Orbit. Hitting the Jackpot, Australia, 1958. A tired hunter rests on the head of a rhinoceros he has killed, Nepal, 1870. Professor Louis Sayer treats scoliosis by checking the curvature of the spine on his apparatus, London, 1877. A Tibetan greets a photographer in Lhasa, 1955. Measure the skull to measure the mind. Scientists thought they could determine intelligence, human ability, and even criminality by measuring the skull, 1885. Nativa Richard posing in fetish wear that she and her husband designed and made. They began a fetish company called Iva Richard in 1920, Paris. Soldiers prepared for the Battle of Antietam, 1862. Led Zeppelin's manager Peter Grant with money in various orifices, 1970. School Days, 1959. Marilyn Monroe in tears with Jerry Geisler, 1954. Who knows why she's crying? Write in the comments. Dorothy Stratton was a Canadian model and actress, primarily known for her appearances as a Playboy playmate, 1979. Two Maori girls with chin mokos in an ancient greeting, circa 1900. Girl blinded by a bomb dropped in Hiroshima, Japan, 1945. Princess Grace of Monaco visiting JFK at the White House, 1961. The incredible American actress, model and artist Margaret Nolan, 1960s. French pilot makes emergency landing and gets out of the plane, Belgium, World War I, 1915. Another gem from the 1970s fashion, apron trousers. Do you remember this trend? A signwriter sits in his studio, working on a new sign, 1890s.